what people need to understand. A better way to do paid advertising is to make paid advertising part of your overall strategy and not the strategy.
You know what I really want to see, Curtis? I really want to see the rest of the room that you're in, because I imagine that it's just a wall. I want to see the rest of that, right? Is it just a wall? Just tell me.
I'm in a small office, and it's just the wall, and then two desks. So, and then we have our supercomputer that's like 64 gigs of RAM with 32, because it allows us to stream to 10 different places in high definition all at the same time. So
nice.
Yeah, just the wall looks really good.
Okay, good. Well, with that, everyone, welcome Curtis Fenn with RedX. We're going to be talking about social media prospecting, specifically a better paid ad strategy. So Curtis, welcome, my friend.
Thank you. I'm really excited. And if it's okay with, hey, nice hat, Tristan. I didn't notice that. Yeah.
Come on. How could
man.
You? Oh my gosh. I thought I'd take it in there.
Yeah. Everybody should make a message if you want a RedX hat. Maybe we'll do a swag run here.
Look at that. Yeah, why not? We'll ask some questions maybe halfway through, and we'll get everyone to type in RedX, and then we'll give maybe like a hat and a mug.
We'll do something.
Let's do that.
Hey, I have a few books, your prospecting books we could give away too that I could ship to them.
Dude, so we could do that.
So we'll do some fun stuff here over the next 30-ish minutes. Yeah. And I do have a slide presentation. I'm going to share my screen right here.
Let's do it.
And you got that live training?
I see it, my friend.
Okay.
I see your face. I see the link to RedX on Instagram. Okay.
That's me. You can follow RedX. You can follow me. A lot of this information we post and talk about online quite a bit, but I'm not going to bore you with who I am, because I'm going to let the content speak for itself, because this is something I'm really quite passionate about. My background is marketing, and really I went to college. I wanted to be in psychology. And everybody asked, why didn't you keep going? I said, well, marketing was the same thing, but I figured I could do it without as much schooling and get paid a lot more if I did marketing. So, but it's still just human behavior and psychology. So we're going to get into paid advertising. And Tristan, this is your world also. I may even say things that if you disagree with, that would make for a way better webinar anyway. So Perfect. If you jump in and do some of this, I am going to talk in generalities. I know that there's some people out there crushing it with Facebook ads at a pretty low cost. But I am telling you, in the hundreds of thousands of agents that we interact with, that is not the norm. The norm is that people are not doing really well on social media. And here's a couple of stats. 80% of real estate agents believe that social media is a must. It has to be part of your business strategy. Mm-hmm. And less than 30% of real estate agents are satisfied with their ability to implement it as part of a strategy in their business. Mm. So there's this huge gap between people who want to be on social media in a real way. They want to be doing paid advertising and generate leads in a real way. And most people don't know how to do it. So here's what most people do, Tristan, and you know this, is they either get really deep and teach themselves to be a digital marketer and learn Meta ad manager, or most commonly, they hire a third party to try to generate leads for them. They run ads and they hope for leads. That's like the entire lead strategy on paid advertising. Here's the challenge. Right now, the cost of a lead is going up in almost every industry. The cost to get someone's attention continues to go up. Do you remember, Tristan, back when this first started, how you could, I mean, it was like fractions of a penny to get somebody to pay attention to your stuff, to opt into your stuff. And it's more. So this chart shows on average, the industries that we're in And what it's doing right now, real estate is at $16.52 per lead generated. That's the average of what people are doing is paying a lot of money to generate a viable lead.
Yeah.
Here's the other problem is if you get on some of these guys' website, they try to tell you that, hey, this is like a 2 to 3% conversion rate with a 14-month sales cycle. NAR went out and they did their own research, and they came back and they said the close rate is actually closer to 0.4 to 1.2% conversion on leads generated through social media, internet leads on social media, or paid ads. And the sales cycle right now, because of everything going on, is not 14 months, closer to 2 full years to convert those. So a sales cycle of 24 years, a high cost per lead. And so people don't really know before they get in there the actual cost of what this will take to generate business the way that everybody else is doing that. And here's why, is because real estate is a special category online, on social media, on Facebook and Instagram. We're a special category. We're limited into the tools that we have. So we end up sending out advertising to our entire marketplace, trying to find a buyer or seller. The challenge is less than 4% of the homes are going to turn over this year, right? So if less than 4% of the homes are going to turn over, 35% of the homes on average that you're marketing to are tenant occupied. They're not even homeowner occupied. So if you're going for buyers, maybe that's a good thing, but for listings, that's not helping you at all. Average home ownership is still close to 8 years, right? So, and so unless you go, hey, to get my entire marketplace, I'm really going to go after these people for a very long period of time, and I'm going to make the investment. And the other challenge right now is a lot of these statistics were true before interest rates got to 8%. So right now, if you just jump on any news thread right now, it's talking about how they're doing surveys and tons of people are waiting. They're just waiting for interest rates to drop. They're waiting to see what's going on in the marketplace. They're waiting for better inventory. And so we're in a really weird environment right now where people are waiting. So you're spending all this money to advertise to entire marketplace to try to find the very few people in your market that are actually going to transact quickly, let alone if you want to try to get business right now, which a lot of real estate agents are in that boat right now. They need transactions now. And if you want to find transactions now, I'm going to show you how to do that in a better way than what people are doing, where they're trying to generate leads and they're marketing to a whole marketplace and they're spending a lot of money to generate a lead. And then they're spending a lot of energy for 2 years to try to follow up and convert those leads into business. Okay. So I'm going to show a better way.
Dude, I like that as a shirt. Dude, that is a better way.
That's right. ...
And then it says RedX.
That's right. A better way. A smarter way. So step one, if you want to do better at paid advertising, you have to target the right audience. Now Meta has put us in a special category, even RedX, where we're marketing to real estate agents, and we shouldn't be in a special category. They still reject 50% of our ads, right? I have to claim real estate, and then I've got to adhere to a lot of those restricted tools and all of these things. But here's the thing that people may or may not know. If you know this and you're not doing it, you're leaving money on the table. If you don't know about it, I'm going to tell you right now how you make more money in paid advertising. Is Meta, all of the platforms, they want you to bring your own data, and they will help target that data. You can still do that. Now, you can't do cloning or lookalike, and they've taken that away, but that doesn't matter. If you have your own database, like even your own sphere of influence, if it's at least 1,000 people, you can upload that right into Meta, and you can target ads to those people, right? So a targeted audience, all of a sudden, now you don't have to target 100% of the people within a 30-mile radius or your entire town or your entire zip code. You can start to target the people who are already close to a transaction, right? And, call me biased because we're RedX and we've been doing this for 20 years, but there are people in your marketplace that are really close to doing a transaction. Expired listings, on average, will relist their home within 35 days. So if you need a listing before the end of the year, like whether you cold call, whether you don't, whether you door knock, whether you don't, expired listings is the right audience. They are nearly all of them will relist, and most of them will relist within, well, the average is 35 days and the median is only 11 days. So they're relisting and trying to sell their home right now. FSBOs are actively trying to sell their home. Pre-foreclosures need to sell their home. They need to do something. And most of the time right now, they're not upside down. They're just behind in their mortgage. So you don't have to do the whole 2009 short sale, challenge. You could just go and list and sell their home if it's priced right and save them the headache of a foreclosure, right? There's high turnover neighborhoods. If you live there, there's vacant rental properties. A lot of times a landlord only has one property. And if it's vacant, they're ready to just sell that thing and get rid of it. These are people who are closest to a transaction that if you would target online, you're going to increase your conversion rates and decrease your cost because you're only targeting the people who are really close to a transaction. Now, the other thing is you should be going after other audiences that can refer you to people who are going to do a deal in the next 90 days or 180 days, like your CRM, like the leads that you've already generated somewhere else to retarget them, your past clients. And of course, if you have a following on social media, you want to be targeting them as well. So this is really simple. I just did a quick Google search and screenshotted, took a screenshot of the first one that popped up. But there's a million places that you could just learn how to take leads or take a list of data like FSBOs or expireds or whatever, and upload those into Facebook to create a custom audience and start targeting those people. If you're one of our customers, like Tristan is in his office, there's a new tool inside of Vortex where you could just select the data you want to target, and it will automatically create that custom audience in Facebook and Instagram and maintain that audience in real time. So as new expireds come in, it'll be uploaded into your custom audience. So your ads are only ever targeting the right people who are close to a transaction. So once you have the right audience, now here's where we start to get into what I like to talk about, which is about getting their attention. Because right now, I don't know, Tristan, if you've read anything recently, but everybody talks about 7 to 12 touches. In every marketing book or sales book I ever read, that's what they quote, 7 to 12 touches. Experts are estimating right now it takes 30 to 50 impressions before you ever really start to make any headway in buying mind share of the people paying attention to your stuff. 30 to 50. And part of that is we're conditioning ourselves. There's so much noise out there. We see so much stuff. We're just conditioned to ignore it all. And the way that happens is through a reticular activating system. Now, your reticular activating system is your brain's mechanism or your gatekeeper to let information in. It's think of it as a spam filter for your brain. And so everybody actually understands this. Sometimes they'll call it blue car theory, where if you go buy a blue car, you go buy a blue Tesla, right? And all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, there's so many blue Teslas on the road that I never noticed before. And it's because all of a sudden you told your brain what was important. So your brain is like, oh, I'm going to let that information through. It's not like more people bought the same car as you. You just are noticing it now, right? I use this example. We've had a billboard on the freeway here forever to help recruit engineers. Cool billboard that says, write cool code and still see your family. And that's because we have a lot of big tech companies around here. Silicon Slopes, they call it here, where a lot of big tech companies. And we were trying to find people that didn't want a cafeteria in their office. They actually just wanted to go home and be with their families. So we've had that up forever.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had people that I've talked to and said, where do you work? And I say RedX, and they go, oh, what's that? And we talk. And then the next day I'll get a text from them that's like, hey, I passed your billboard. Well, they probably drove by that billboard thousands of times over like 7 years that billboard's been up and never once paid attention to it. But all of a sudden they had a conversation and now it's important. So their brain lets that information through. The reticular activating system lets that through the filter. The challenge with paid advertising or really any marketing is that you fail to get past the reticular activating system so that your ad can get in there and they can actually pay attention to it, which is why they're saying, hey, 30 to 50 times, maybe people will start to recognize the brand or recognize what you're saying. But there is a way that you can get through the reticular activating system, and it's by creating an ad or a message to that ad that their brain is already paying attention to. You tracking, Tristan?
Dude, 100% tracking. I'm actually taking notes because the one thing that stood out to me was the deeper realization that it's just going to get harder and harder to break through all that noise, where it was like 7, then it was 15, 20, 30. How many times is it going to take for us to show up in front of one person and in the multitude of ways to be able to break through the noise, right? So I love where you're going.
Well, let me show you how we have figured out how to crack the code on this. A little bit of a hack to get through the reticular activating system with less impressions, which what that and the reason it plays in is because if you can do it with less impressions, it costs you less money to get the attention and generate the lead.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so part of that is how you create the ad. And I'm going to give some. This is the stuff that people really want to pay attention to. And then I do have a giveaway on this one. So let's chat.
I love it.
As we get in here. I'm going to show you the creative brief that we do internally when we create our ads, but it's the same way we've taught hundreds of agents of how to do their ads in a way that can speak to the subconscious, get past the filters, get through the noise so people will actually start to pay attention. And it starts with not building your ad. It starts with, thinking through a creative brief. And so this is how we do it internally. So you're going to start with the audience. Who are you targeting? And the reason a targeted audience works so well is the more you understand that audience, the better you can speak to them in a way that they'll pay attention, right? So we start with a narrow audience of who I want to convert into a more viable lead or prospect, a qualified lead. So I'm going to give you the example of an expired. Next is the problem. What is the problem they're currently dealing with in their life right now? Right? Well, the problem is that the home didn't sell. Maybe a secondary problem is I've got 100 agents blowing up my phone, right? Trying to get me to list my home again with them. Maybe that's their problem. But the home didn't sell, that's their problem. Because of their problem, how are they feeling? Well, they're discouraged and regretful. Do you know the limbic system in our brain is our old brain? They call it the reptilian brain. It is where our fight and flight response lives. It's where most decisions are made. And that's a part of your brain that doesn't process language. It just processes, how we feel. So we make decisions emotionally, we justify with logic, but if we don't speak to the problem and how that's making me feel, you're never going to get through that reticular activating system, right?
Very true.
So the audience is feeling discouraged and regretful. I was doing a training with somebody going through this, and he said, my experience in prospecting so many years, he was a prospector. He said, I tend to find expired homeowners are embarrassed. And they've been trying to sell. They've already said goodbye to their community and their church congregations, and they're, like everybody's waiting for them to move on. And then they have to like sit there and go, well, I'm not moving on yet. And so maybe they feel slightly embarrassed. And if you understand that they feel embarrassed, you're going to be able to create a message that speaks to that their brain already feels, right? And their brain is already thinking about that. Because of what they're feeling, what questions are in their head? Maybe they're thinking, I wish I would have listed a year ago. Do you know how much money I've lost already? Why are so many agents calling me right now? These are things in their head that are making them feel discouraged, making them feel regretful that they didn't sell earlier, maybe regretful that they listed with a certain agent. Maybe they shouldn't have listed with their, in-law and maybe found somebody else to sell their home. Whatever that is, you got to put yourself in their shoes and say, what are they actually thinking about? And then you start to get into some of the rest of the ad strategy, which is, well, what emotion do they need to feel to then take action? So hope, if they feel discouraged, then in order for them to move forward, they need to feel some hope, right? Otherwise, they're going to stay in a state of discouragement. So then you start thinking through, okay, what could I actually say to help them feel that hope? Right? And maybe that's, whatever you could say.
Okay.
And then, of course, the solution is, what do they need to do in order to solve their problem of their home not selling? In most cases, if you're targeting an audience of someone who's close to a transaction, like an expired or FSBO or vacant rentals or some of these types, the solution is typically going to be you as the real estate professional, right? So you got to think about that. But then the call to action is, what is the next necessary step for them to take to get towards that solution? And this is all ever before we make the ad, because then here's what you do. Once you're in their head, now all of a sudden, this is what you do. The primary description is, what are they feeling because of what they're experiencing? The link headline is you're defining the solution to their problem. The call to action is, what do you want them to do? Fill out this form, get a free consultation, give me a call, whatever that, DM me for more information, right? And then, of course, a video is where you're going to take all of that creative brief and just put it into a quick video where you validate their feelings, right? And their thoughts of what they could be asking themselves, and you give them a call to action. So let me show.
Well, hold on. Could everyone that's watching, if you want to take a snapshot of this, this is a really good one, just to give you a better idea. And then obviously you can dive in deeper into every section, right?
Well, I'm going to give you like the best hack on the planet.
Shoot.
Which is this. Here is the prompt that we have used and given agents over and over. And let me see if I can just actually do the prompt. Let's see here. Here's my chat GPT. Is that showing?
Yep, I got you. You got GPT-4 on too?
Yeah. It works well with the free GPT if you didn't want. All right, so we put in, I'm going to do for sale by owner. That's the example here. Okay. And this is me not even, so here's the prompt. As a senior marketer for real estate agents, help me understand a for sale by owner by answering these questions. They're the questions that are in the creative brief. This is always dangerous to do live here, but let's see how good of an ad they can help me create here for a for sale by owner that will speak to their problems, get past the reticular activating system, and help them take action. So here we say, okay, well, here's some problems. And you tell me if this is true. You'll be the judge of GPT here, Tristan.
Go for it.
The problem of for sale by owner is difficulty in effectively marketing and selling the property without professional expertise. This includes pricing it accurately, showcasing it effectively to the right audience, and navigating legal requirements and handling negotiations. That pretty good?
Yeah, that's extensive.
They put a secondary problem of time-consuming efforts in managing the sale process end-to-end, which includes handling inquiries, scheduling and hosting viewings, managing paperwork, and ensuring all legalities are met.
Yeah, that sounds like I mean, it's a secondary problem, but it sounds like it should be in the primary
That's,
section as well.
so here we have, and then it's like, well, what are they feeling? Overwhelmed due to the magnitude of tasks. They're frustrated from not attracting serious buyers or receiving lower than expected offers. That one's actually
Mhm.
pretty ninja.
Mhm.
They're feeling anxiety about potentially making mistakes. They're stressing over juggling their day-to-day life. And they're experiencing doubt about whether they've made the right decision.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, right?
Dude, hold on. Because as you're going through this, I'm also in my head, I'm thinking, because you and I have been in the for sale by owner expired world. I'm thinking that this is really good just as an explanation to go through and get a better realization of who you're talking to before you're making calls.
Yes.
This is so good to get clarity. Even
It's
even besides creating a Facebook ad, but I'm just wanted to point that out.
yeah, no, this is really good. And if you go Google right now, NAR quick field guide stats, I think is what you'd put in. You'll find a page that has a bunch of statistics where they give a bunch of statistics and they have the top 10 reasons why a for sale by, what a for sale by owner struggles with the
Mhm.
percent. And this tracks very closely to the study that NAR does that you can find on those field guide stats. So it puts it all in. We're not going to read through all of this because of time, but it's even all the way down to what action do they need to take, right? And what can you say? Like, what can you say to help them feel that emotion, that they need to take? So now that you have the creative brief, let me insert a tip on using ChatGPT. ChatGPT, most AI that's built on OpenAI is there's context within the chat that you're creating. So I would never recommend that you go right to ChatGPT and says, make me an ad for Facebook that does these things for sale by owner. What I would do is ask it the creative brief. So now all of this context is in here. And then I would go back to my next prompt. These are a series of 2 prompts
Mhm.
because this one is now says, turn this information into a Facebook ad with the primary description being what they're feeling because of what they're experiencing, the link headline being the solution to their problem, and also include a 60-second video script that will help validate their feelings and thoughts, help them feel what they need to feel to take action, and a strong call to action. Watch this. While ChatGPT is doing the work for us here, I just want to point out that the way you get through the reticular activating system is to speak to the questions and problems I already have, right?
Dude, hold
If
on. Hold on, Curtis. I'm upset because I didn't think about this, but I'm super happy that we're talking.
it's
Okay,
so good,
you can continue. Go ahead.
yeah,
I unshared it, but go ahead.
is so social media already knows I've been on a journey, a health journey over the last several years, right? Trying to lose weight, going to the gym more often. They just know because what you pay attention to, and then they serve more of that up, right? And there's so many ads that I just go right by, you know, and but if they speak to a very specific problem, I click on those ads, even knowing exactly what's happening because I'm in marketing. But if I'm, they even know they even know my gym routine. So like if I'm going to the gym and going to work, do legs, they'll even serve up advertising that's specific to that day of the week, right? That
Mhm.
I'm more paying attention to. Why? Because I'm thinking, okay, tomorrow's leg day. And if they get an ad that is specific to the thing I'm already thinking about, right? Then it happens, right? Another example that we use is you might see news headlines all the time that you don't pay attention to, but let's say you had a flight booked on Spirit, and
No. Why? Why did you choose Spirit?
Because of the example I'm going to give you.
Okay.
And you're not paying any attention, and you're going through your newsfeed, and there is a headline that says Spirit airplane crashes, right? Your brain 100%, your brain's job is to keep you alive, right? Your reticular activating system is your spam and alert system. It is 100% going to let that through. You don't need 7 to 12. You don't need 30. You don't need 50. You are going to pay attention to that headline because it's relevant to you and what is going on in your life right now. So what we're trying to do with these ads with the specific audience is speak exactly to what they're thinking and feeling. So they go, oh my gosh, is my phone listening to me? Right? No, it's just, we know who you are and the problems you're experiencing, so we're going to speak right to that. So let's go through this ad that ChatGPT just made for us.
Let's do it.
So here's my primary headline. This is, as I'm scrolling, the first thing that my brain is going to see. Feeling overwhelmed and stressed trying to sell your home on your own? Right?
Yes.
And then it's going to validate you're not alone. From pricing doubts to endless paperwork, the journey can be daunting, right? The link headline, unlock peace of mind with a trusted real estate agent today. And look at this video script, right? You could grab this, you could grab your phone, you could pull this up, and it even gave way better video scripts because it's telling you how to edit the video. Don't worry about that. Just say it, the things. Selling your home is more than just a transaction. It's a journey filled with decisions and doubts and dreams. And you're probably wondering if you priced it right, if you missed something crucial, if the process is taking you longer than it should. Imagine having an expert by your side, guiding you every step of the way. Your time is valuable with right? And it's just going to go on.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying ChatGPT is going to make you a perfect ad, but if you needed a place to start, this is 80% of the way there. And this is going to track better than most of the ads that you may be putting online right now, because it's speaking to a specific audience, to a specific problem, to a specific emotion.
Well, Curtis, on that 60-second video on ChatGPT,
yeah,
if you were to go back to that and then just ask ChatGPT to be a more emotional or empathetic, or and use language that connects more authentically, it can redo it and then say, how does this sound? And then you can tweak it even more.
Right.
So I think this, and then you can plug it into Big View, the app, and then just read it on your phone vertically, and then you're set.
Right.
There you go.
Right.
Open with a dimly lit room. That's really good.
All right. Let me jump back in here. I have an ebook with many more different ad templates that we've created for different audiences, and also with some very specific prompts that people can use in GPT. And I can for sure we can help you get that. So if I can give that to you, Tristan, your team gives it out, or they can reach out to me directly, either way. But even in the chats, if you're on Zoom, that's easy. If you're on one of the social platforms watching this, just type it in there and we'll find it somehow. I want to go back to this slide. It's just a concept I think everybody needs to understand, is that attention is the highest form of currency in today's world. The people who get the most amount of attention are making the most amount of money. So if you think of attention as currency, when people pay attention to you, they expect something in return, an ROI of their investment. So in these ads, the 4 things that they're expecting, we call it the contract, the unspoken marketing contract. When people pay attention to us, they want to be validated, motivated, informed, or entertained. And right now, validation is at the very top of the list. It's what makes social media so powerful, and it's what makes social media so dangerous to our own, self-esteem and everything else is that we want more than anything to be validated in how we feel. That's dangerous if we're just pissed off and people continue to validate that causes, divisiveness. But if I'm a homeowner that's frustrated because I thought my home would sell 6 months ago, and I thought the real estate agent that I hired could do it, and I thought I would be in a new place. Meanwhile, interest rates have gone up like crazy over the last 6 months. I'm frustrated. I'm like really frustrated. And if you can validate that and speak to what they're saying, you will get through that reticular activating system in a way that can then help them do this. I just wanted to point out that in our ad builder, we already have all of these templates in there so that it's one click, create your ad that you could then target to the right audience. So a little shameless plug there for our ad builder.
Love that.
And then this is what people need to understand. A better way to do paid advertising is to make paid advertising part of your overall strategy and not the strategy. I know that you can get deals just from doing what we're talking about. If you're speaking to them and you have a good message and you're getting through at a low cost, these are high intent, low cost, high intent leads versus most internet leads, which are low intent, high cost, right? You can get deals. But if you're also doing organic social media and audience building, right? So people can see your ad, but because you're a real estate professional, they're for sure going to click on your profile. If they like your ad and that spoke to them, they're going to click on your profile to see who you are. Do I want to do business with this person? And if you don't have anything that you've posted on your own profile about who you are, about your business and your life, it's going to be less effective, right? There is another little social media hack in here that boosting lives between these two, right? There's ads that you're trying to get people to take action. There's organic where you're just speaking to people, that you are associated with. But boosting is where you can take your organic posts and boost them to the same targeted audiences that you may be running ads to. So ads are I go for the close. Organic is when you're all the way friends, but right in the middle is when you can show people a little bit about who you are over and over again at an extremely low cost. I mean, for $1 or $2 a day, you could boost a post to 3,000 new people that you're targeting from a targeted audience, right? So boosting is a really valid part of your paid strategy. And then where the magic really happens is in your prospecting. That could be phone prospecting. It could be DM prospecting, right? You could take that list of expireds, look them up on social media and hit them on DM. This is door knocking prospecting. This is maybe you're doing an open house and you're in a community where you're going to run into people who you've been targeting with your ads, right? Listings come from when these two things overlap and people start to see you everywhere, right? I love what Joe said. He says, I use social media because when I call someone, they know exactly who I am and why I'm calling. It helps break the ice before ever talking to them. So get this concept. Cold prospect is defined by neither party knowing the other person. But a warm prospect is defined by one party knowing the other party. So if you have put your ads in front of expired listings or FSBOs over and over and over, you've boosted your organic content, those people now know you. It's not a cold call anymore. It's a warm prospect. It's not a cold prospect. So you making the call is now just reaching out to somebody who already knows who you are and giving them the opportunity to do business in that. So, look, I just, again, want to show you how we can help. We do have the ad ebook, right? It's 18 templates along with our chat GPT prompts to make more ads. So let us know if you want that. We're happy to do that. And in case somebody doesn't know, we've been around 20 years, so maybe this is unnecessary, but RedX, we started with data. Our core competency is getting those target audiences, a group of people who are really close to a transaction right? So we have all the data. Turns out the way that Facebook, Instagram, all the social media platforms match to their users is through a good email and phone number, which is what RedX has been doing for 20 years. Our platform comes in, our ad builder, right? That allows you to do everything that I just showed you how to do. We want to offer a deal to everybody and make it an absolute no-brainer. So we would do the ad builder for $20 for your first month. It's $50 a month after that. But the goal would be for $20, let's just get your first ad running to a targeted audience for $20, right? And we don't take any money on the ad spend. We don't take any money on that. So just $20, and you can call into our sales team and ask them about that. But that's what I got, Tristan.
Dude, I love this whole thing. I put up the link if anybody has any questions, right, with the discount. And on top of that, let's pick somebody who waited through the whole process here as a winner of, what are you going to give? A hat? A mug? What do you want to give?
Hey, man, I think the coolest swag we have right now are hoodies. Yeah, you want one too?
Is it zipper?
It's not a zip, it's a pullover.
Okay, I'll take one too, but let's give one to the audience. Let everyone just type in RedX, red RED, and then an X, just like my hat says, into the chat, and then Jake, this way nobody yells at me, Jake is gonna pick someone, and then people can yell at Jake.
That's right. Sorry.
All right, Jake, whenever you're ready, pick one person in the chat. Let's go, Jake, make the right decision. Oh, it's hilarious. Well, as Jake is deciding, I don't even know if Jake's in the background, dude. I think he just left me alone. It looks like it's gonna have to be my choice, Curtis. Oh, damn it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not making that choice.
Oh, wait, where'd you do it, Jake?
Oh, Jake. Yeah, I put it in the chat. It was Yaiko. Yaiko Brown.
Damn, that moved fast. Okay,
yeah.
What's the name?
Yaiko.
Oh, Yaiko Brown. Yaiko, do me a favor before everyone leaves. I know we have all your information through registration, but can you put up your email there and phone number, or just do me a favor?
You could post it to us individually as hosts and panelists.
Yeah, just do that, and then Curtis will grab it and send it to his team, and then he'll send me your hoodie to me. This would be great. I know you'll be happy with that, Yaiko. Or Yaiko. I'm not sure the pronunciation. There it is. He just put it in there, Curtis.
And how about this? For my team, and I'm going to have to run and go tell them this. We'll track the first 10 people. The first 10 people that sign up for Ad Builder and want to get going on that deal for $20, I'll send you one of Tristan's books signed.
Oh, dude. I love that. And a hoodie.
And one hoodie.
And one hoodie. I had to twist his arm. Wait, where do I sign up? Oh, Jake, there he put it.
Okay. That link, if you call it, actually, yeah. So our team can also help you. Make sure you tell them that you're with LabCoatAgents. You were on the webinar. 1-800-731-7339. Our sales team will be hanging out there. And yeah, I think I think there's a better way to do ads. I think we're coming into the end of the year. I think there's a lot of people that may be waiting to make a decision, but they're only waiting because they don't know any better. Right? I mean, people are only waiting because they don't know any better. And if you can target them with an ad that's, maybe you're even saying, your home came off the market and maybe you're thinking about waiting until the spring to relist. And anybody who's thinking that's going to be like, are they listening? Is our phone listening to us? Right. And it's just, you're getting in their head and you're speaking to them and you're going to get their attention. And then if you pick up the phone and call them, or you try to get into their DMs, or you do something proactive along with the passive marketing that ad strategy is, you're going to get more listings, and you could get listings right away.
I agree, man. I agree. Do you have like 5 minutes to talk to me after?
Yeah.
All right, I'll call you right after.
Okay.
Everyone else, thank you. Please check out everything that RedX has to offer, specifically this, which is brand new, and they're doing such a great job with it. Who doesn't want to remarket to expireds and for sale by owners and do ads? That's something I've been dreaming of since I've been calling them, and Facebook started doing it. So Curtis, thank you so much for doing this, man.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you.
Bye, everyone.